So I was browsing Reddit and I found this article, and honestly, I thought this was so cool. It's like just the most passionate science-based thing that, when you think of passionate scientists, you think of stuff like this. So before I show you what the actual TV image of Mars was, the first ever hand-colored TV image of Mars. Actually, it's super annoying. Let's just show it right now. There it is. That is the first TV image of Mars hand-colored. But the story of this, I think, is just so cool. So Mariner 4, I think 1965, right? Mariner 4 went out in 1965 and it did a couple did it do one or two flybys of Mars? Either way, it returned the first images of Mars ever from deep space. And, before this, people kind of thought, this was in the 60s, people kind of thought, I don't know how accurate this is, but pretty sure people thought that Mars was like this beautiful, Earth-like planet. Because if you think about it, right, you look at this bad boy through a telescope, and you see the poles. To me, that's like one of the most earthly things about it, right? Is when you look at through your own eyes through a telescope, you can see the poles of Mars and how they're covered in snow, and that alone, I could totally see how it would make guys think that this was like a lively planet. And I think originally the very first things of Mars ever with a telescope were people thought they were like roads. People thought there's roads all over Mars. Anyways, that's besides the point. So back to this image. The image, this is so cool. Okay, so here's what happens. So the thing flies by Mars, right? It takes a picture of Mars, and to get it back to Earth, it like digitally translates it into numbers, right? And it was printing it out. Check this out, on these strips. Like, it was printing it out on these, what do you call them? Ticker tape strips? Numbers, right? Here's the number chart right here. So it was literally printing these out, giving like numbers on these ticker tapes. And you can kind of see, how they're like the lines here. And, I guess that's the ticker tape thing. But look at this guy. He's literally so excited that he got this raw data with just numbers back, that he is taking it on himself to just sit there and start coloring in the numbers. I think that is such a sweet science cool thing. He couldn't even wait. Like, he did not want to wait for the official image, which I have. Like, I think this is the official image, this one. I'm trying to squint and see what this actually, could look like. What do you guys think? That wouldn't really give me a hint of what we're looking at. It makes more sense when you look at the more official images. For sure. Now let's go over here to Mariner 4, and I think these are some of the more of the official images. Yeah, like this. So you can kind of see what he was going for, right? I think this one kind of, to me, matches it up. You see how like there's those colorations there? Like, let's go back to this. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, right? It's similar. Anyways, he was so excited that they did this. I thought that was so awesome. And now it is framed. It's framed and presented to the JPL director, William H. Pickering. Truly a labor of love for science. Exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think this is. A labor of love for science. You know how cool this would be to have that image? Like, get a high-res image of this. I wonder how high-res that is. Let's check that out. Get a high-res image of this. And make that a photo that you put in your room or something. I mean, that would just be truly, truly badass. Oh, wait. Oh, the original right here. 17 megabytes. Oh, guys, this is exactly what we need. I gotta print this. Tell me right now. Who's buying this if I'm printing it? How's that 17 megabytes? Zooming in, it doesn't seem that high quality. Who's buying that? I'm printing it. You're buying it. Let's do it. Somebody's probably already doing that. Can you do that? Can you sell NASA photos? I don't think so. Let's check out the Reddit that I found this from and just see if we like anything on here. This guy was explaining it basically because it was 1964. We take the ability to process large amounts of data and display it for granted, which is so true. It used to be incredibly difficult and rare. Even something as seemingly simple as being able to process and display a single image took a considerable amount of time. The way a computer would process a job like this would involve a program being loaded by punch cards, magnetic tape, or some other medium, not via network. And that's, crazy. It's honestly crazy to think that, like, I mean, one of the cool things that, I mean, the crazy things that I think about when I think of stuff like this is that this is like, this is like in that mode, like in the 60s in the space program and all that, like when everything's not so technical, like there's still this element of like human, whatever you want to call it. There's still that element there. And I just think that's so cool, right? Like it's like half science, half human, and you combine it, and then you get like a hand-drawn image of Mars, right? Compared to like now, I mean, we are so spoiled now. I mean, literally, we're getting like ridiculous images of Mars. This is, I was gonna say the resolution on this is terrible. No, this is great, right? Like now we're getting absolutely ridiculous images of Mars. Insane. Anyways, before I go, I mean, I don't even know if I finished my thought on what people originally thought Mars was, like this beautiful world. And anyways, they got these photos back, and this was like the first time when they realized, oh, actually, it's just a pock-marked, cratered planet, barren, desert, just like the moon, right? So I don't know if there was a disappointment in the science community, in the space community, but they definitely were enlightened. Anyways, I thought this was really cool. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys like this mesh, whatever you want to call it, of science and humanity? So cool.